Hey guys, this morning I want to show you guys some of the newest addition to my guitar collection. There's the three guitars that basically my main electric guitars right there. I have the Les Paul, 81 Les Paul Standard, Clown Burst. I have a '07 Telecaster, and here's my newest addition right here. Let me back up a little bit so we can get it in there. There you go. That is a 2018 Fender American Special Limited Edition Stratocaster. And the color is I just love the color, man. It's called Autumn Blaze. I thought it was Capri Orange, but it's Autumn Blaze and I'll tell you the story on that. So, it has a 70s headstock with a dual string trees. It has a red rosewood fretboard on a maple neck with satin finish, which I like, makes it easier to play. You come down, it's 22 fret, which I like that too. It's a HSS model, which means it has 2 single coil pickups and 1 humbucker. And it has the vintage tremolo block in it and vintage tailpiece. It's a 5-way switch with grease bucket circuitry, which, if you don't know what grease bucket is, it's a term that was coined by Billy Gibbons for his Fender guitars. It has to do with tones not losing any losing bass frequency, I think, but I could be wrong. I'll have to look that up. Now this guitar weighs in at about 8 pounds. I mean, I just love it, man. I have been spending the last few days setting this thing up, and I've got it pretty much where I want it right now. And I'm gonna tell you what, Stratocasters just have a tendency to, when you're using a tremolo, you've got to constantly resetting things. Every time you move something, you got to reset something up. So what I've done, let's get into the guitar now a little bit. What I've done is I have hard-tailed this tremolo. In other words, it's sitting on the body. I've got the springs in the back pulled tight to where it pulls it down. So, because I don't use a whammy bar that much, so I hardtail my Strat. This guitar gave me problems at first trying to figure out what it was, because when I first saw it, I thought it was a color called Capri Orange, and outside in the sunlight it looks orange. It really does. And so what I did is I got it home, I loosened up the 11 screws and just lifted up the pick guard enough to see what sticker was on the pick guard, and it said it was an American Special with the mint green, black mint green pick guard. And it don't show it here, but that's exactly what that is. That's a mint green pick guard, which I prefer. I didn't know that at first, but I'm glad. I really like that, because that's a color they used a long time ago. But back to it, it says an American Special. So I'm like, okay. So I looked it up, American Special, and it said that it came with a Fender Atomic and 2 Texas Special pickups. This would be a Fender Atomic pickup, humbucker, and the 2 Texas Specials. So I'm like, yeah, man, I got me some really nice, because the Texas Specials were basically built around the time Stevie Ray Vaughan was playing, and they wanted pickups that would, kind of mimic what he did. So I kind of like that. So I figured I had a really good pickup set here, and I was really happy with it. But my problem is the body. If it was Capri Orange, it only came, Capri Orange was a Fender Player Strat color, and they were made in Mexico. But my neck said 2018 USA made, Corona, California. So I kind of thought I had a parts caster when I first got it. I'm like, oh well, that's okay. It's still an alder body. Everything's fine. There's nothing, nothing cheap about it. So one day, I said, you know what, I'm just going to pull the whole pick guard out and just check it out. But when I took it off again, looked at it, there were stickers in the body cavities, and one of them said American Special Stratocaster with urethane. And the problem was, or the clue to this was that that sticker had this color oversprayed on the sticker. Oh, wait a minute. You know, if it's a player, it wouldn't have that color on a sticker that says it's an American Special. So I started looking, it had some other serial numbers, and I started digging around on the serial numbers and found out that this is actually a Fender American Special limited edition elite, maybe an elite, that's what it listed it as, in the color of Autumn Blaze. And I'm like, oh man, now I got a limited edition Stratocaster. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, man, I only paid $600 for this guitar from a friend of mine down in Rutherford that has tons of guitars and amps and stuff, and he had one for sale, and I was looking for a guitar. So now I've got a limited edition Stratocaster that I paid $600 for, and it's all American. So I got to looking at it some more in the pickup cavity, and these limited editions came with what they call Fender Atomic Humbuckers and 2 Texas Specials, which I mentioned earlier. Well, that didn't match the numbers on the pickup. The pickup, the humbucker said, had a 64 on it, and I do know that 64 on Fender humbuckers means it's a Diamondback pickup. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, I'm okay with that, you know. But the other thing is, American Specials, like I said, were supposed to come with Texas Special pickups, these 2 single coils. But when you look up, anytime a Diamondback was put into an American Special, chances are Diamondbacks came with what they call Fat 50 single coils. Now, I'm okay with that. Even though they might not be Texas Specials, they might be. The ohmage readings are about the same for the Fat 50s and the Texas Specials. It just depends what ohmage meter you use, because they can change on your meter. It may read 6 on one and 6.5 on another one. Now these read about 5.7, both of them, and that's almost 6, which is a low for a Texas Special. This humbucker is a Diamondback, I know that for a fact, and it runs about 7.5 in ohmage. So I'm happy. Whether these are Fat 50s with a Diamondback or Texas Specials with a Diamondback humbucker, I don't really care. I love the sound of it. I love the way they sound. They still have a little bit of overdrive to them. So guys, that's my newest addition. I'm really thrilled about it. It's a Fender Stratocaster 2018 limited edition, possibly elite American Special that I got for $600. And this is my second Telecaster. I've had one before. As everybody knows, they know me as a Les Paul player because that's my go-to guitar all the time. These two I carry pretty much all the time when I play. The Telecaster is really a backup guitar. It's a Mexican made, but you know what? I think from now on I'm gonna start carrying this and this when I play. May carry 3 because I have a stand that holds 4 or 5 guitars, and I usually carry about 4 or 5 if I'm doing a full set night with acoustics and everything. But there it is, guys, my new toy. I love it, and we're going to do some sound examples in my next video, so stay tuned. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.